Hello, I am Rosendo, and this is the chapter video summary number 13. So for this summary, we were supposed to cover chapters 21 and 22. Chapter 21 being all about employment discrimination, and then chapter 2 being about environmental law. So with chapter 21, it opens up talking about the fact that employers today have it much harder than the employers did 100 years ago. And the reason being is there are restrictions today that weren't in place 100 years ago that prohibit the restrictions limit the powers of employers when it comes to things like hiring, firing, and promoting employees. Before federal legislation was passed that limited employer powers, employers could promote, hire, or fire anybody they wanted for whatever, whenever they wanted, and for whatever reason that they saw fit. And the chapter basically just discusses the key pieces of legislation that prohibit employment discrimination. So to start off, the employment discrimination itself is the unfair or unjust treatment towards someone in the workplace, and it's usually on a basis of things like sex, color, race, national origin. They can even be there can even be cases of discrimination for things like disability, or even being in a relationship with certain people can lead to discrimination towards you in the workplace. What I think, to me, the most important piece of federal legislation that was passed and put in place to try, I'm going to say try, because employment discrimination, I think, will always exist. That's actually the title or the topic of my term paper that we just had to turn in was all about Title VII and discrimination in the workplace. So Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination in hiring, firing, and other terms and conditions of employment on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. And I just think that employment discrimination usually happens on the basis of the things that Title VII protects. So I just find it, that's why I said I found it the most important, because it pertains to employment discrimination so specifically. Other other pieces of federal legislation, that are put in place to help try to stop employment discrimination include the Equal Pay Act of 1963. Basically, said that employees all across the board, no matter the age, sex, race, or gender, should all be paid equally or as close to equal as possible, along with the Civil Rights Act of 1866 and 1871. So again, these are just the things that I took from the chapter that were put in place to limit an employee's power when it comes to hiring, firing, or promoting employees. So thanks for watching my chapter video summary number 13.